Hey, sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button to start the show, but welcome to episode 267 on the Delta CX Hive. I'm Debbie Levitt from Delta CX, and today's Take Action Tuesday, we are going to be talking about Microsoft's guidelines for human AI interaction. And hello, Ana Lucia. Before I get started, don't forget to go to dcx.to. You've got all the links there for everything going on in our community, and nearly everything is free. Our Discord community, our Patreon is free. We've got lots of events coming up. Some of them are paid, but they're designed to be very inexpensive. So check out our May 2025 conference and our June 2025 Life After Tech cohort. So that box had a card deck that I picked up at a recent conference. You can evidently find these same things and more online at aka.ms/AI guidelines, all lowercase, all one word. And it says, use these guidelines to evaluate existing ideas, brainstorm new ideas, and collaborate with the multiple perspectives involved in creating AI. It says each card represents a guideline and an example that illustrates the guideline in place. Guidelines aren't rules or patterns and don't have to be a checklist. Not every may apply in all cases. You are using these guidelines the right way if you're considering them in your work to engage in dialogue about human-centered AI. So right there, we already have something a little bit fuzzy, which is you're using these guidelines well if you are engaging in dialogue, but it doesn't sound like you need to be following any of these guidelines. But we're going to read them and we're going to learn about them, and I'm going to see what you think. It looks like there's 18 of them. So the first one says, and they're separated into four types with different colors. My green is being green screened out a bit, but it's initially, during interaction, when wrong, and over time. So we've got two cards that say initially. Yeah, Ana Lucia says if they don't talk about Skynet, they failed. So initially, make clear what the system can do. Help the user understand what the AI system is capable of doing. And their example is, and I'll need to put on my reading glasses today, PowerPoint's Quick Starter builds an outline to help you get started researching a subject. It displays suggested topics that help you understand the feature's capabilities. Okay, but then do I have a way to not use it and then say no to it? Maybe we'll get there. Card number 2. They said human-centered AI. That sounds weird. Yeah, what can I say? This one says, make clear how well the system can do what it can do. Help the user understand how often the AI system may make mistakes. And their example is Office's new companion experience, Ideas, docks alongside your work and offers one-click assistance with grammar, design, data insights, rich imagery, and more. The unassuming term Ideas, coupled with the label Preview, helps set expectations about the presented suggestions. Hi, Deanna. So setting expectations, always a good idea. Next card, and it's a red one, so this is for during interaction. Time services based on context. Time when to act or interrupt based on the user's current task and environment. Oh, Ana Lucia says, what made them design a card game? Who's a target audience? It sounds like the target audience is everybody, and it sounds like this is for brainstorming AI features as well as reviewing your AI features. So this one is interesting because it says, time when to act or interrupt based on the user's current task and environment. I believe there should be minimal to no interruptions ever, yet when I use Microsoft systems Copilot AI is jumping up all over the place and interrupting me, so I felt like Microsoft was not following this guideline. Their example is in Outlook. When it's time to leave for appointments, Outlook sends a time to leave notification with directions for both driving and public transit, taking into account current location, the event location, and real-time traffic information. And so they're showing an example where you can exit out, but I don't see something that says, never freaking show me this again. So hypothetically, and I don't know if we'll get there, it sounds like you can keep interrupting a user and saying, oh, we think this is useful and something you need right now because of your task, but I don't see a never show me this again. So let's see if we get to something about user control. Card number 4 is also during interaction. It says, show contextually relevant information. Display information relevant to the user's current task and environment. Sounds a lot like the last one, but their example is in Word. It says, powered by machine learning, acronyms in Word helps you understand shorthand employed in your own work environment relative to the current open document. So it sounds like acronyms are going to teach you what acronyms are, but I guess the question is, did I prompt that? Or did it just come up on its own? And can I stop it from coming up? If I know my company's acronyms, do I need you to keep explaining them to me? So I get that this is contextual, but I still worry about control. Next card is number 5. Match relevant social norms. Ensure the experience is delivered in a way that users would expect, given their social and cultural context. I guess as an East Coast American, I would say stay out of my shit and don't give me stuff I don't want, but yet I don't see them matching that. Their example is editor, which I think is part of Word. When editor identifies ways to improve writing style, it presents options politely, like saying, consider using. So evidently, if your AI is polite, then it matches social norms and culture. Maybe. Okay, our last red card is number 6, mitigate social biases. Ensure the AI system's language and behaviors do not reinforce undesirable and unfair stereotypes and biases. Oh, this is rich, coming from a company who has been in trouble many times over the years for what some of its spell check and thesaurus suggested as synonyms. You can Google that. Here they're showing My Analytics, though I can't tell which Microsoft product this is from. My Analytics summarizes how you spend your time at work, then suggests ways to work smarter. One way it mitigates bias is by using gender-neutral icons to represent important people. Ooh, I'm going to disagree here. Ana Lucia says, and Microsoft still mixes up European Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese in their autocorrect. Very culturally aware. Hashtag sarcasm. So look at this icon. I don't know if my camera will. Okay, my camera's just zoomed in on it. So it is a person with a rounded face with short hair and broad shoulders. And they're saying that is a gender neutral icon. I think partially because of the hair, my brain initially said male. But if this is to minimize bias and stereotypes, I don't know. When I look at this, I'm also struck by how it says you have 4 calendar conflicts tomorrow. Why are you telling me this now? This doesn't seem to have context. We just had 2 cards about context, and yet here I am in something that's supposed to be analytics, and it's telling me to go clean up my calendar. Go clean up your calendar. Yeah, Ana Lucia's got a good point. She's saying not only does that person look kind of male in this icon, but it seems to represent a white person. So super fail. Now we have a bunch of cards that are yellow. We've got cards, let's see, we've got 5 cards that are yellow, and they seem to have to do with what to do when the AI goes wrong. Who's ready? Card number 7, support efficient invocation. Said no one ever. That is not plain language. Weren't we just talking about bias and context and speaking to the user in their language? Maybe we weren't, but support efficient invocation, that's your next band name. It says make it easy to invoke or request the AI system's services when needed. Microsoft is not doing that. If you are pushing AI in people's face, if you are interrupting them, then you are not giving people the chance to invoke it only when wanted. If you are automatically showing it in an analytics panel, you are not waiting for them to invoke it. Yeah, Ana Lucia says, why couldn't they choose an icon that was actually neutral? No people. Yeah. So what's their example for efficient invocation? This looks like Microsoft Excel, and it says, Flash Fill is a helpful time saver in Excel that can be easily invoked with on-canvas interactions that keep you in flow. Okay, sure, but what about everything else that we don't get the chance to invoke? And even Flash Fill acts like, hey, you probably want this, just say yes. Have we really invoked or requested it? Or have we been offered it and now we are accepting or declining it? So I think that Microsoft is not doing that well. And by the way, while we talk about that, think about other AI tools you are using and if you feel they are following these things. Okay, card number 8, support efficient dismissal. Now, of course, if we only invoked it or requested it when we needed it, we wouldn't be dismissing it as much. But okay, there are times where we might invoke it and then want to dismiss it. Make it easy to dismiss or ignore undesired AI system services. Ana Lucia says, what will they do with the information we're typing and they're reading to suggest that? Yeah, we haven't really found things here that are deep into the ethics universe about are we reading what people write and are we saving that and are we training on it? Their example for support efficient dismissal, I cannot tell what this comes from. This might be a Microsoft form. Yes, okay. I was looking at the picture before I read the text. The text says, Microsoft Forms allows you to create custom surveys, quizzes, polls, and questionnaires. In Forms, some choice questions trigger suggested options. Positioned beneath the relevant questions, the suggestions can be easily ignored or dismissed by clicking the X. So here they're showing in the form that there's a gender question, which is not a good gender question because the choices are shown as male, female, and prefer not to say. What were we just saying about gender neutral and avoiding bias? And then here their suggested question is, what is your age? So this is not landing very well for me. I am not loving these. I think they need to read their earlier card about bias. Card number 9 says, wow, they really made a great choice. Yeah, card number 9 says, support efficient correction. So again, a lot of these remind us of some of the heuristics, but they're trying to talk about humans interacting with AI. Make it easy to edit, refine, or recover when the AI system is wrong. So common heuristic about being able to undo things. Their example here, it looks like the alt text we see in multiple Microsoft tools. It says, Auto alt text automatically generates alt text for photographs by using intelligent services in the cloud, which implies that the cloud is seeing your photo. So hint, hint. Descriptions can be easily modified by clicking the alt text button in the ribbon. That's what this one looks like. So I can agree with efficient correction, but I am. It sounded like you would. It sounded like in their example you would have to take extra steps to do it, which we don't want it to be too difficult or cumbersome. It should be easy to undo. Card number 10. Scope services when in doubt. Engage in disambiguation or gracefully degrade the AI system's services when uncertain about a user's goals. So their example seems to be from Word, and it looks like someone is trying to correct a potentially misspelled word, and it says, when auto-replace in Word is uncertain of a correction, it engages in disambiguation by displaying multiple options you can select from. Okay, that X is so small I could barely see it, yes. So this is their example for scope services when in doubt, which again, this is written in bizarrely high language to me. If you're not great with English, or English isn't your first, second, third language, even to me, these seem a bit high and confusing. This doesn't seem like normal things people would say to each other. Maybe AI wrote these cards. Our last yellow one is number 11. It says, make clear why the system did what it did. That should probably be optional, because if I don't want the AI, then I don't want the AI going deeper into my time by telling me why it did what it did. So I would think that should be optional or by request. What did it say earlier about invoking and requesting? Enable the user to access an explanation of why the AI system behaved as it did. And their example is Office documents. Office online recommends documents based on history and activity. Descriptive text above each document makes it clear why the recommendation is shown. So it shows that someone edited this recently. It seems to be you. So instead of saying you edited this, it's got a full name. It's Debbie Levitt edited this. Maybe. Is it you? I can't tell. Or you were mentioned in a document. That's their example for make the system clear why the system did what it did. I don't think it's followed through on that by just saying someone mentioned you or someone edited this. That just sounds like an activity report. It doesn't tell me why the system did what it did. Is the undo a yellow warning instead of a red one from the previous? No, I think it's just the colors of the cards. I don't know why they're these different colors. Okay, now we have a bunch of cards that are green, but since I have things green screened out, the green is going to look transparent. You're going to see our background, but just know that these are green. So card number 12, and the green cards are over time. Over time, remember recent interactions, maintain short-term memory, and allow the user to make efficient references to that memory. And their example is Outlook. When attaching a file, Outlook offers a list of recent files, including recently copied file links. Outlook also remembers people you have interacted with recently and displays them when addressing a new email. Okay, sure. Sounds all right. Remember recent stuff because people might be, likely to want to use something recent again. Sure. I don't think the colors of the cards matter. I think they're just for fun. Card number 13, over time, learn from user behavior. My question is, will it learn from me Xing things out and not wanting things to stop showing them? Personalize the user's experience by learning from their actions over time. Learn from user behavior. Yeah, I've half a head. I know it looks weird. Okay, and the example is tap on a search bar in any Office application and search lists the top 3 commands on your screen that you're most likely to need, personalized to you. The technology, called Zero Query, doesn't even need you to type in the search bar to provide a personalized predictive answer. I think they're making predictive search sound a lot more sexy and exciting than it is. But here you go. It's supposed to learn from what we do. Card number 14. Update and adapt cautiously. Limit disruptive changes when updating and adapting the AI system's behaviors. I don't think we see enough of that. PowerPoint Designer improves slides for Office 365 subscribers by automatically generating design ideas to choose from. Designer has integrated new capabilities such as smart graphics and icon suggestions into the existing user experience, ensuring the updates are not disruptive. So I feel like in many ways these cards are just trying to sell me on Microsoft tools and services. But I know one of the first things I do when I have to reinstall PowerPoint is turn off design ideas. Turn it off. I don't want to see it. I don't want you designing my slides. Chances are I have a slide template or I work somewhere that does. Turn this off. Yet it doesn't seem to remember that. Okay, card 15, encourage granular feedback. Enable the user to provide feedback indicating their preferences during regular interaction with the AI system. Would that be like turning it off and never showing it to me again? Because I can't turn off Copilot in most of my Microsoft products, so do I get to do that? Here again, it shows ideas in Excel, something I've never heard of and never used. Ideas in Excel empowers you to understand your data through high-level visual summaries, trends, and patterns. It encourages feedback on each suggestion by asking, is this helpful? Well, I think someone had a lot of fun making these cards, but I really question if Microsoft is even holding themselves to many of these. Card 16, just a few more left. Convey the consequences of user actions. Immediately update or convey how user actions will impact future behaviors of the AI system. The example is Excel. You can get stock and geographic data types in Excel. It's as easy as typing text into a cell and converting it to the stocks data type or the geography data type. When you perform the conversion action, an icon immediately appears in the converted cells. This is not a good example of what they're claiming here. This says the consequences of your actions. That sounds like you're going to be warned about negative stuff, but here they're just saying, see, these cool little icons remind you that you did this cool thing, which may or may not be AI. Okay, but what about warning people about negative consequences? 2 more. And if you have any comments or questions, let me know. I'm not the expert here. I'm just reading a wacky card deck. 17, provide global controls. Allow the user to globally customize what the AI system monitors and how it behaves. Microsoft is definitely not following their own AI recommendation here. I cannot turn off Copilot, and in the few places where they allow some customization of Copilot, I have to turn off unrelated services. So that is bullying me into turning on Copilot because I'm going to need these other unrelated services. So I would say another card should be don't bully people into using your AI. The example for global controls is Editor, looks like Microsoft Word, expands on the spelling and grammar checking capabilities of Word to include more advanced proofing and editing designed to ensure your document is readable. Editor can flag a range of critique types and allow you to customize its behavior, but not turn it off. And finally, 18, notify users about changes. Inform the user when the AI system adds or updates its capabilities. The What's New dialog in Office informs you about changes by giving an overview of latest features and updates, including updates to AI features. Do not want. Okay, then they have a summary card. So in short, these are all of their guidelines. And again, you can find this on their website at aka.ms for Microsoft / all lowercase AI guidelines. And then the deck ends with, these guidelines are the result of a rigorous synthesis and validation process. We identified more than 150 potential design guidelines in scholarly research, documents across Microsoft, and articles in the public domain. But no user research? You didn't talk to any of your users? We grouped the guidelines by theme, which resulted in a short list. We then conducted 3 rounds of validation. 1, we tested the guidelines ourselves by applying them to popular products' AI features. We revised the list of guidelines, removing redundancies, confusion, and any guidelines that cannot be observed from the UI. 2, we tested the revised list of guidelines by having 49 UX designers and researchers across the company apply them to various products. Ooh, that's who we get to blame. You hear that, everybody? We revised the wording of some guidelines based on that feedback. Thank you, UXers, for trying to make this better. We asked 11 UX experts to review and validate the revisions. And we presented these in a 2019 paper. 2019, y'all. Now I'm starting to see why these are so weird. This is not recent. I didn't know what year these were from until I got to that card. 2019. So at this point, they don't even know Microsoft Copilot. They don't even know Claude or ChatGPT. Copyright 2019. Whoa. Well, that explains a lot. But it doesn't explain why Microsoft is not following their own guidelines, but giving these card decks out at conferences where their workers are speaking. Physician, heal thyself. Microsoft, if you're going to try to tell us what to do with AI, follow your own guidelines and make sure they're updated. AI is changing incredibly fast. It really doesn't make sense to have 6-year-old guidelines on technology moving that fast. Yeah, Ana Lucia says, please do what we say, but not what we do. And I'm wondering here about why they did this. Helpful, actionable, not feeling it. Yeah, I think they thought it was helpful and actionable, but I agree that some of it seemed very obvious. Some of it didn't even seem like good examples of AI, but again, this is from 2019. So our perspectives on what AI is or could be or should be have changed a lot in 6 years. And obviously, if they're presenting this as a paper in 2019 and printing these cards, they might have been working on this in 2017, 2018, quite possibly, though I don't know for sure. So these definitely feel somewhat true, but mostly outdated, because you're not even applying these to Microsoft Copilot, which is popping up all over Office and is definitely not adhering to those guidelines. And I think now that we've seen a lot of AI behavior in a lot of tools, I think we have to add to some of these guidelines, like, well, first of all, one of them said allow people to globally control them. Microsoft isn't allowing that in an ethical way. So where's the ethics? Why aren't there cards here on ethics of this stuff? So I think there's room for improvement here. I wonder if Microsoft will try again or if someone else will take it up. All right, so we'll make this one a short Take Action Tuesday today. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please leave them under the YouTube video and give us a thumbs up like if you're on YouTube. And please go to dcx.to so you can join our community for free. Our Discord now has over 500 people and it's pretty active. And we've got some interesting events coming up in May 2025 and June 2025. If you are watching this after then, hello in the future. Please go to dcx.to and visit the events calendar to see what we do have coming up. I will play us out of here, and thanks to everybody for joining in the review and mild roast of Microsoft's AI guidelines, which it turns out are 6 years old. I think they should have led with that piece of information that we did this in 2019. I didn't find that out until the end, but there you go. I was just given them a few months ago, and it's May 2025. Womp womp. Have a great day, everybody, and see you tomorrow for Ask Me Anything.